Hey there, Steve Gamache with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. And in this episode, we are going to look at the Kurosaki Raijin Santoku 165mm knife. So these are 3-layer construction, and they're not divulging the actual steel. They're just labeled as cobalt stainless. Heat treats around 63 Rockwell. I suspect it's probably a powdered metallurgy steel and should have a fine grain, take a really nice edge, and be reasonable to sharpen if you've got good quality cutting stones that have a little bit of aggressiveness to them. So it should be an excellent kitchen knife steel. The stainless cladding, it's a soft stainless cladding that's on either side of that hard core steel that covers the spine. So you get a 3-layer construction, so it's all stainless. The weight and dimensions on these can vary a little bit from knife to knife. As you can see, this line has one of Kurosaki-san's unique patterns that he's put into these, and he comes up with these really cool patterns that have kind of an aggressive, dynamic look to them. And so weight and dimensions on these can vary a little bit from knife to knife. This particular one is 121 grams or 4.3 ounces, so quite light. Edge length right about 165 or 6.5 inches, and the overall length is around 311 millimeters with the handle. Coming out of the spine, these have a little thickness. They'll vary knife to knife. This one's about 3-ish millimeters coming out of the handle above the back of the heel. And then I got about 1.8 halfway down the blade, so it thins out pretty quickly. And then holds it pretty much that thickness until you hit the grind. You can see the grind is pretty high, so it's pretty generous. And what that means is you get towards the tip, they thin out really nicely. So performance is really good on these. High performance tip. Let's look at the edge grind here on the back choil shot. You can see that's a really thin edge, folks. So these are going to be great. Actually, they are. I've used them. So the performance on these is simply excellent. The blade height is 46.2 millimeters, so lots of height there. You've got a fairly thin neck. You've got a good, generous kind of curve from this choil, the back of the blade, into the neck, so you've got lots of room there for a pinch grip. The handles are octagonal ambidextrous walnut with a black packawood ferrule, or I should say rosewood, my bad. Rosewood with a black packawood ferrule. And nice fit and finish on these handles. They put them on a lot of different knives, so it's a tried and true handle. They always seem to do a really good job gluing up and sealing up that tang into the handle entrance there, so ready to roll out of the box there. Circumference on this one's about 72 millimeters-ish where the two materials meet. Balance-wise, it's going to be a little further back because the knife's not real long and the blade's light, and the handle, that's a little bit of length to the handle, and then rosewood's not the lightest wood in the world compared to some, so there's your balance point. So definitely going to be behind a pinch grip, so you got a little bit of a handle heavyweight balance to it, but yet it's light and nimble for sure. The let's get our beauty shot here for the video. There we go. So looking at this, you've got this pattern impressed on the knife. Every knife's going to be a little bit different. And then on top of that, you've got laser engraved kanji over the top of that. And then you can see the machine finish on the grind down towards the edge. Here's the left side of the blade as you'd be using it. And again, the pattern there. And then this will show you the cladding line. So there's the cladding giving way to the core steel at the edge, that little wavy line there. Always a nice job on fit and finish on these that I most always see, which is polish on the spine, relief on the corner so it's not sharp on the edges, taking the time to do some cleanup on the choil down into the neck, so that's pretty clean as well and nice and smooth. And then a good 6, maybe 7 out of the box edge out of 10 on my scale. So you can just pull these out and start using them for sure. These blades are typically always straight, clean grinds. They're just well made. I really rarely see any with problems. So, and I see quite a few knives from this maker. So that's the consistency is extremely good from this maker. So here's your edge profile. A little bit of belly towards the tip, so I could rock this a little bit right there. It's not a particularly long blade, but yeah, you can do some rocking on that. And then not a ton of flat, kind of rolls in, continuous belly towards the heel. and the back of the heel. So not really a flat spot per se, but you could do a little chopping towards the back. But definitely good for tip draws, some rocking over medium, low stuff, and push-pull cuts, glide cuts. Not a particular pure chopper, but still pretty versatile profile. So just another good quality model in this lineup. This is the Kurosaki Raijin Santoku 165mm knife.